the point is everybody has got 24 hours in a day, right?
Definitely.
How you prioritize your working hours in a day from morning when you wake up till evening, it all depends on you.
Welcome to Hospitality Circuit. My name is Sanchit, and today we are here with Mr. Kush Kapoor, the director and CEO of Roseate Group. Hello, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Right. If you can share to our audience a bit about what you do here, what your role here as CEO and director looks like, and how your day-to-day activities look like here.
Sure. My day-to-day activity, I would say, starts at 7:30 when I'm in the hotel actually, and it goes till about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. Some of the things which we do quite different in our brand, as we do not have those typical offices or the cabins for anybody in my hotels, including my GMs and including for me. So it's a very open structure, very open hierarchy, very open platform, right, where everybody can interact, come and speak to anybody for that matter. And that's the reason it's very open, transparent culture what we build out here. It's more of a, I would say, a research and development organization rather than working typically at hotels and resorts, because we do a lot of crazy and innovative stuff in terms of sustainability and technology. We're trying to merge as much as we can together.
Right. And
that's one of the reasons the Roseate brand has been now positioned in the market as one of the most innovative brands coming up in the hospitality sector right now on that part. So for me, as per me, I take care of the brand and I'm responsible in case of anything going wrong in the brand. Anything goes right, I give full credit to my team, my partners, my owners, and my friends, everybody. My job is to make sure that the brand excels every single day in terms of quality and standards. My job is also to make sure I take risk. I also see at least for the next 2 to 5 years vision where we want the brand to be taken in. Rest everything and anything is handled by my team, and I'm very lucky to have a super amazing team with me who works hands on hands with each other and with me to make sure where the Roseate brand stands for and where we want to take it forward in the next 2 years' time.
Right.
Thank you.
And when we talk about the Roseate Group, right, when we look into it, not a lot of people know that ice skate and the Segway rides, which happen, I think, in India are also owned and operated by Roseate.
Correct.
Right. So, which all spaces is Roseate looking into, like, going into the future as well when we talk about it?
So, one, as I said, we got hotels and resorts. Yeah. We have our own cafes also in Delhi NCR right now, which is named by Roseate, Roasted by Roseate Cafe. We also have co-working spaces, and we got the biggest ice skating indoor ice skating ring in the country, which is in the Ambient Mall in Gurgaon. Having said that, we do plan to expand all these verticals every single year. However, we are very particular and our vision is very clear that we will not be the biggest, but will always be the best in whatever we do.
Right.
If I talk about hotels, resorts, cafes, ice skating rink, and the co-working spaces, we plan to expand at least 2 or maximum 3 every single year. It has to be boutique, it has to be classy, it has to be an experience. And this year, our vision in our brand, and we are all working together for the same thing, is heavily on 3 E's, which if you know the alphabet E. Mm-hmm. So first is emotions, second is experience, and third is engagement. All for my partners, for my guests, for my employees, and even from the owners on that part. So that's the expansion plan, what we have.
All right. And when we are talking, you also said that Roseate looks into sustainability programs,
yes,
a lot, right? And innovation and the new technology which is coming in. Can you entertain us with some new technology which has come up in the market and Roseate is using currently?
So we believe in developing our own technology rather than copying the technology from the market. The technology what we have in the resort, which is the Roseate, which is 10 minutes drive from Roseate House in Aerocity. We've got the water which you drink as a guest is actually generated from the moisture in the air through the solar panels.
Wow.
Right. So we don't get the water from the market, we have our own water. This water is the highest quality of water which you get anywhere in the country. We have our own 20 products right now, which are all Roseate products. We get our own teas right from the tea estate gardens from the Darjeeling. So my employees actually go and visit the tea estate gardens once every year. They are inside the tea estate garden, they actually stay, experience, they pluck the teas, they wash the trees, they pack the teas, and that's the experience what they go through. If I talk about coffees, we have our own coffees, and this is the first flush of coffee which you get from Kurg, which is actually the export quality.
Wow.
And that's the quality of coffee which we serve to our guests in the hotels. Besides, as I said, we have our own water, we have our own candles, we have our own fragrance, we have our own chocolates, 5 different varieties of chocolates. We have a brand called as Mithai by Roseate, which is doing fantastically well for us. We are the first brand in the world which have gone now sugar-free. So we don't use refined sugar in any of the hotels. We use date sugar, sugarcane, jaggery, khan, all that natural sugar we're talking about. In our rooms, if you're talking about, we also have our own Roseate toiletries, soap, shampoos, lotion, conditioner is all Roseate brand.
Wow, all right.
Our own Roseate diaries, Roseate pens. We've just started a year back our own Roseate ice creams. There are 13 flavors of Roseate ice cream, so which means we don't procure now ice creams also from outside. If I talk about from a technology point of view, this is also the first brand in the world. If you log on to our website, that's www.roseatehotels.com. You, as in anybody in the entire world, has an access to our kitchens live 24/7, which means you can actually see the chefs preparing the food from anywhere in the world, which also brings the confidence of Roseate brands in the market that's the level of transparency and the hygiene which we want to talk and even showcase you as a guest. We also allow you as a guest to see which oil are we using to prepare your own food. That means the oil which we use for preparing your food, you can actually see the oil coming out in front of you in the coffee shop. We got a nice machine out there. So we allow you to choose whether it's sesame oil, mustard oil, coconut oil, or whichever oil you want your food to be prepared. So we take out the oil in front of you. So it's again the highest level of purity, transparency, hygiene, which you as a customer get in the Roseate brand.
Okay, that's great. I did not know so much about Roseate. Right. And talking about you personally, right? When I had a first look at your LinkedIn profile, so I saw, which is quite different, is janitor, there was a lot of different positions which you mentioned over there.
Correct.
Right. I want to get to know about what's the idea behind that and what's the story behind it.
I would say it's a very short story of 26 years in the industry right now. I started my career as a room boy with the Roseate Group of hotels. That's Trident Udaipur, and then moved to Trident Cochin again as a room boy. I was, this is in my terms, and I do not wish to be taken it for everybody, or especially the students coming and joining the industry. I say I was fortunate that I got rejected by every single interviewer during the campus interview, and that's what propelled me to start my career as a room boy. The learning was, whatever opportunity you're getting in your hand, grab that opportunity. Your first 2-3 years in the industry has to be making sure that you learn as much as you can. So act as a sponge, absorb as much as you can, filter the things which you do not want, and that will set the base for where you want to grow yourself. I've worked with the Roseate Hotels, Taj Hotels for 8.5 years. Fortunate enough to be part of the Leela opening team, Leela Gurgaon, 412 rooms. And very fortunate to open the brand out here, and I've been with the brand for almost about 10 plus years now.
Right.
Learnings again, I opened the brand when I was not even a graduate at the age of 41.
All right.
I was a diploma holder from IHM Hyderabad, passed out in 1998. The focus was always on the quality, and if you're able to deliver the quality and an experience to any customer, your results will automatically come. Post that, I was very fortunate to be sent by my uni company to Cornell University in US to do another course, General Manager's program out there. I did my graduation post that while after opened the brand. Did my postgraduate. I'm currently doing my PhD.
All right.
And besides PhD, I'm also doing my Master of Science in Ayurveda from Iowa University in US.
All right.
That's an online 3 years degree course, and I'm also doing my Shaolin Monk Temple course side by side.
Wow, that's great deal of things that you manage in the day and the whole thing. So, okay, coming to this, how do you keep up with so much, right? Because we find it difficult to even manage college and normal life.
So I agree with you what you're saying of that, but the point is everybody has got 24 hours in a day, right?
Definitely.
How you prioritize your working hours in a day from morning when you wake up till evening, it all depends on you. So my wake up call actually starts happening at 3:30. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning and I'm on till about 11, 11:30, 12 o'clock in the night. That's the timing is which I have. Coming to obviously what your question which you asked, in the last 26 years, I've never taken my work as a stress. I've always worked what I do. And if I do not like it, I don't do that. It's a very simple logic or understanding. Reason being because I know most of the people in this world are stressed out only because of the reason they do not love what they're doing it. They still keep doing that. And that's causes you stress. If you love what you're doing, there's no stress actually. Right. So that's what is my theory in. And I love creating something different with my team every single day. I guess that's what keeps us charging and keeps on moving forward. Whatever I learn in terms of my PhD, which I have researches, which I'm doing right now, along with my Master of Science in Shaolin, That is all getting inculcated in my employees, in the organizations. Like if I'll give an example, 2 days later, which is day after tomorrow, I have a researcher who we are partnering right now, and what we are working right now is to understand the effect when we as hoteliers walk about 14 kilometers on an average in a day, and we are standing for almost 10, 12, 14, 16 hours on certain days. How is that affecting the sole of the feet?
All right.
Right? Because if it's affecting that badly, it's going to affect your backbone also.
Right.
So we look into each and every aspect of that. So if with the research studies which will come out, if you have to change the sole of the shoes, we have to change the shoes design, we'll be doing that in the next phase. So this is, as I said earlier also, the brand is all about research and development.
Yeah.
Besides that, obviously, we are happy to run the way we are running in terms of hotels and resorts as normal operations.
All right. And also, so you mentioned that you had introduced the management trainee programs last year. Right?
Correct.
Unfortunately, there were not anybody who was hired last year. But
Right.
What are the statistics that we are looking at this year?
We definitely are looking somewhere between 4 to 6 to begin with in terms of the management training. It's a very positive and soft challenge. We're looking at the best in the market. Now, when I talk about best in the market, yes, the knowledge has to be there. But for more the knowledge, we want an individual with the right attitude. We want an individual who is ready to take risk. We want an individual, the student I'm talking about, who is into the habit of asking questions, why did this happen?
Right.
Why cannot I do in that manner? So we want students to bring out their inquisitiveness of asking everything and anything, and they should question us for everything.
Right.
So if that student is there and we are able to select, we are definitely happy to get somebody between 4 and 6 management trainees on board with us in this financial year.
All right. And when we talk about the management trainee program, right? So this is applicable for anybody who is interested in kitchens, housekeeping?
Yes, all 4 departments, including the human resource, including the sales and marketing as well.
All right. And so, as you said, they'll be training with you and you'll train them personally, right? So what does the whole course look like when somebody becomes a management trainee here?
So when you join as a management trainee, whenever you're selected, it's going to be a 1-year program, which is the shortest program in the entire hotel industry.
Right.
The management trainees will be working hands-on hands with me from day in and day out. That means they'll be my right hand and left hands. So whatever literally I'm doing the entire day, they'll be working hands-on hands with. So learning for them, and even I guess I'll be learning more from them rather than them learning from me. And moment they pass out after 1 year, they'll be directly involved in a day-to-day operations as either the assistant managers or managers of the department.
Right.
So the very short period, however, this learning is going to be super amazing, super intense. And that's one of the reasons I guess we are kind of still struggling to find the best in the market right now on that part. Yeah.
All right. So you're struggling to find the best in the market, but when we, like as students, we always want to know what somebody who is hiring us is looking for.
So keep away the politics,
Right.
keep away the attitude, and ask as many questions and question, as I said earlier, on every single thing what we do.
Right.
So remove that fear factor that if I ask them, when you're joining the hotel industry, you always have that fear factor.
Right.
If I ask them, what if they feel bad?
Right.
And that's one of the reasons we in our hotels do not work in that manner. It's a completely different organization. It's a very open, transparent culture.
Right.
My average age of my employees is 28 years, which is a very young organization.
Definitely.
I would say overall as such. And that's one of the reasons we want, and as I said, we are heavily into research and development, and that can only happen as a researcher if you keep on asking questions.
Right.
If you stop asking questions, then you're following what everybody is doing on that.
Right. And for somebody who is coming into this industry or is currently working here, right, and obviously everybody wants to succeed and become maybe a managing director, a GM, a
Sure.
CEO, right? Any tips for them how they can accelerate their career?
What I'm going to say is most of the people in hotel industry will disagree with me, and this is one of the easiest industries to work for
Definitely.
in the world. And I've given this example numerous times. Whatever I do at my home when my relatives come, I meet them, I greet them, I give them the best food, I make sure my house is the best clean. I see them off. I do the same thing in the hotel industry, right?
Right.
Day in and day out. I don't get to be paid at home. For the same job I'm doing in the hotel, I get paid.
Right.
And this is one industry under one roof. On a single day, you're meeting some hundreds and thousands of guests, depending on the hotels you're working in. You meet a scientist, you meet a doctor, you meet an army man, you meet a carpenter, you meet a plumber, polisher, chef. You meet every profession of people in industry. So that actually helps you to grow far better in case you're ready to accept the challenge of meeting people. You love meeting people, you can love interacting them, and also the most important thing is you love solving their challenges, problems. Most of the people shy away from getting into the zone where that makes you uncomfortable. But hotel industry is one industry, if you're able to handle, the more problems you handle of the people, the better you become. Right, so that's one of the reasons I would say this is one of the easiest industries to be in on that.
Right, and you were also the ex-chairman of NCHMCT, right? So I hope you're aware of the JNU and IGNU change which has happened. So what is your opinion on that, and do you see it being beneficial for NCHMCT or not?
It would be beneficial, I would say. However, this is my personal take. I would love to see the entire curriculum being changed.
All right.
It's an decades-old curriculum. It needs to be changed, as in, I would say yesterday, not even today. There has to be a joint effort between us as hoteliers, and we need to take a lot of initiative in that. Along with the hotel management institutes, they have to come together and make it so simple, make it so interactive, make it so engaging for the students, so that students actually get more attracted towards this industry.
Right.
And I guess that build-up is taking time. What we are doing in our hotels right now, I get about 2 of the, I would say, faculty from hotel management institutes in Delhi NCR to begin with right now, once every month or once every 15 days. And they spend 2 good days with us because we want to showcase them about what we do in the hotels. It's a different world of doing. And I have full respect for the faculty of the IHMs. Reason because they've spent good 20, 30, 40 years in what they've been doing, and they're really good in what they're doing.
Right.
Fortunately or unfortunately, we've not been able to move them out and showcase where the hotel industry has evolved right now, the new industry, in terms of technology, in terms of sustainability. So this is what is our first step to make sure we bring them to the hotels and showcase it's a different world. Because when they go back to the institutes, they work, they think, they talk, and they educate in a different manner altogether.
All right.
So the industry has to join hands with the IHMs, and this curriculum needs to be changed from A to Z. I would sincerely request, get some of the seasoned hoteliers as part of, maybe as an advisors or on board, to help the IHMs to understand what the new hotel industry is looking for.
Right. I think the future for the hotel industry looks quite promising.
It does.
Especially after the COVID, there's a boom in the market.
True.
Right. And I think a lot of people now respect this career much more than it was done before.
Correct.
Right. So what would you like to say for the people who are in a dilemma whether to come into this industry or not?
So this is, I would say, this is the golden era to be in the hotel industry, at least for next 20 years, if not less than, or if not more than that. And I got simple logics for that. We are the biggest populated country in the world.
Right.
Only 7% of Indians hold the passport right now. We are the largest travelers in the world. We are the highest spenders in the world right now. Our MICE segment, if I talk about MICE segment, which is your banqueting, which is your social functions, weddings, receptions, and even the conferences, we've overtaken number 1 position, which was earlier with the US country. This financially, we've overtaken that also, which means that's the amount of money which can be generated or is generated right now in the hotel industry in the country. We're also the highest mobile users in the world. We're also the highest internet users in the world. And now we, as a country, we also become the employer for the world. So everything is there in the country right now. The hotels are mushrooming left and right, the way they're opening up. The only challenge what we see right now is the shortage of the quality manpower. So somebody who's really keen, somebody who's dedicated, somebody who just loves interacting with people, human beings, I guess this is the finest, best industry for next 20, 30 years to be in the hotel industry in India.
That's great. Right. Yeah. That's what I've been trying to convince a lot of people, a lot of juniors actually of mine who ask that is it worth it to get into the hospitality industry or should we go into corporates and...
No, it's worth being in the industry now.
Right. All right. And coming to the part where you were talking about the sustainability here, right? You told me what are the different things that you guys have used, and that's incredible. But I think it's also important to make the guests aware.
True.
Because during my industrial training, that's what we were trying to do, is make the guests more aware so that they help us achieve sustainability.
Correct.
So is there any steps that you guys have taken, or do you educate the guests?
We do educate the guests. So in this hotel, we have a hydroponic plant, which was the first hydroponic plant in the hotels in the country.
Right.
And that's in the training room in the basement 3. So what we do if you're a guest, we actually as a chef, we check with you. If in case you want to get your own salads, we ask you, would you like to accompany me to the training room and pluck your own leaves out there, right? Lettuce or any other thing which you want. If the guest says yes, we take them actually through the back areas, which is the heart of the house of the hotel, which also means that you need to make sure the heart of the house areas are spick and span, right? You pluck your own leaves out there, come up in the coffee shop, and obviously the guest gets to see them being prepared in front of you. In all our hotels, we got a small to a big herb garden, where we actually invite you to come along with the chef to the herb garden, pluck your own tomatoes, cherries, depending on the season of the year. And obviously the food is prepared in front of you. We definitely encourage you, especially on the weekends if you have time, or even the weekdays, if you want to prepare something and be more interactive with the chef, we allow you to do that also. In terms of mocktails, every Saturday and Sunday, we have 1 hour session in the hotel for the guests who are staying with us. They actually learn how to make the mocktails. And then obviously they taste it after that. Similar sessions we have with the teas. I have tea sommeliers, my employees, my food and beverage also employees are tea sommeliers right now. We also have coffee sommeliers in the hotel. We have wine sommeliers. So we have various programs running for the guests to make sure we interact along with them and make sure the sustainability practice keeps moving forward on them.
Right. And talking about the Roseate Group, right? How do we see it expanding in future? Are you guys planning to expand more in India or do it more abroad?
We are open to any of the locations. Currently, we have 4 5-star luxury hotels in United Kingdom.
Right.
We got 3 in India currently. 4th one is coming up in Noida, which will open up next year in April 2026. This will be one of the most awaited hotels to open up because this will be one of the finest, smartest hotels in the world hoteliers have ever thought of in terms of technology and sustainability together. We do plan to expand our Rishikesh property starting from this year. We are also expanding our foot in the Goa, South Goa, where we'll start the construction of a very high-end luxury resort this year itself. So the idea, as I said earlier also, is very simple. It's 2 to 3 hotels per year. None of our hotels as of now are similar to each other. So which means every hotel is an experience in itself. There's no cut copy in terms of colors, looks, feels, products. The only copy thing is the service and the standard is the same everywhere. I mean, I'm glad that by 5 of my head of the departments are moving in the month of April to Lilloche University in Switzerland for an immersion program. We have professors coming from the month of March, and this is going to go in every quarter. They are coming from Lilloche University, and we've invited them, and they'll be doing training sessions for my employees. And this way, we plan to make sure that our employees keep on interacting with each other. A lot of my employees are moving to United Kingdom, to UK hotels to experience that hotels in this financial year also. And this just to experience the hotels and come back.
Okay, so something I'm very keen about is knowing how people who are at your position, right, they think and how they operate the business, right? So in my mind, you guys have to read a lot of books. There must be a lot of knowledge that you gain from reading and, you know, talking to people, right? So is there something that you would like to share with people of my generation or people like me who are going into hoteliering, right, which will help them in the future and achieve that business sense?
Absolutely. Thank you. And for students, I would say even for the people at our level also, people at any level, please make sure your learning never stops. Wherever you can learn, as much as you can learn from whoever you can learn, please keep your learning on. So I always consider myself as a student rather than a teacher or a leader, because a student always keeps learning. A teacher eventually stops learning and he only teaches. So for me, we make sure that our employees are always students, and that's the reason we want to make sure they learn as much as they can. You can learn from, and today's time, thanks to the technology, you got everything on your mobile, right?
Definitely.
Right from, you can listen to the podcast, to YouTube videos, to ebooks, to somebody's interview, everything is available. So coming back again to those 24 hours, please utilize those 24 hours. And I will never say to any of the students or even to anybody that do not use your mobile, please use your mobile. My only request or rather suggestion is probably just take out 30 minutes in these 24 hours for anything you want to be the best in the industry, whichever industry you are in. And it's a simple max, 30 minutes into 365 days in a year. You'll be far better, far more smarter than any of your colleague or any of your team member in just 365 days a year.
Absolutely true, sir. All right. And coming to again a bit. We'll make it a bit informal, right? We'll talk about your personal life as well a little bit. Do you like to travel? And
I do travel a lot, and mostly it's for work.
Right.
I travel at least, I would say, 4 to 6 countries in a year.
right,
Last year it was London, Scotland, France, Germany. This year I'll be moving to Switzerland, again London, Dubai. So travel happens.
right.
Yeah.
So would you like, in your opinion, right? Being a part of the hospitality industry, do you think it's very important to travel and get to know the different cultures which go
100%.
around the world?
And that comes back again to the learning.
Right.
As I said, whenever you can travel with an open mind that as much as I can learn. So it's a very simple understanding, right? The more you will learn, the more you will earn.
Right.
So your L goes off and your earning becomes better.
Right.
So keep on learning, never stop learning. Figure out a purpose or a goal or something which excites you every day, and go deep into that in terms of learning. And nobody on earth can stop you to be the best where you want to be.
Right. And okay, so you told me that you did a diploma, right?
Yes.
From IHMs, right? And in our college as well, we have a degree course and a diploma course. So for people who have already done their graduation and might be looking into the diploma part of it, right? Do you have any tips for them? Do you have any suggestions for them?
Again, I would say it's a matter of learning.
Right.
First 2 to 3 years, for me, it's very simple understanding. Forget yourself as a person. I would say forget yourself as an identity.
Right.
If you really want to scale up in your career, these first 2 3 years for anybody in any industry are the building blocks. It's like building your hotel or your own home. If your base is strong, you can go as much higher as you can. So in these 2 or 3 years, if you can make sure your learning is the best, it becomes so strong, then you just keep rising up after that. That's how it works.
Right. And somebody, I think, who is coming to the hoteliering industry has to be very passionate about
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
Right? Because it's not everybody's
Correct.
cup of tea to work 18 hours and be happy about it.
True. And that's the reason I said, I mean, if you love interacting with human beings, if you love solving problem of the human beings, this is the finest industry to be in.
Right. And okay, so we are coming to the end of the sessions, right? So we would like to ask you to share a small life lesson that you have learned over the past 26 years in the industry, or even from before that, right, with our viewers.
I would say, I mean, I'm fortunate that I keep on learning every year along with my team, and I will sum it up in 4 alphabets, and the word is called as TIPS. So the learning for me for the last 26 years has been very exciting, and for me, TIPS has a breakdown where T stands for transparency. For me, be as transparent as you can in your professional and your personal life.
Right.
So when I sleep for those 3 and 4 hours, I have no clue what's happening in my entire world, right? And that's the best time probably for me to get rejuvenated and come back and fresh and start my new day. And why am I saying being transparent? Because then you don't have anything to hide. You don't have anything to think, or a fear factor doesn't even come to you. I stands for innovation, and I'm not going to exaggerate because everybody talks on that. You really need to be innovative every single day. If you can just be 1% better of what you did last day, you're automatically 37% higher, better in just 1 year's time. So that's an innovation. P is passion, and passion, again, I'm going to make it very simple. Try doing something which actually excites you every single day, because then you literally don't have to look at the watch, and it doesn't stress you out. And yes, we're all human beings. Keep your life as simple as you can, because you're only interacting with your human beings, and human beings love to talk to somebody. They love to listen to somebody. They love the smile on somebody's face. They love those emotions. And that's TIPS stands for me for.
I absolutely agree with the last one, especially because it was lovely listening to you.
Thank you.
Right. And thank you so much for having this session with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me up there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.